So that's the message, buddy. Get the fucking kettle on. I need tea. Mate. Yeah, it's just, I'm quite doing what it is, try to do breakfast and take it's just one sheet figure. So what we get, grandma's lunchtime, we try to put a team down the shop, and no one can so I spoke to Marnie, Foster's wife.
They're rare.
Well, an espresso machine.
They're rare.
I said, we'll get down there.
Those are the next ones.
Of all the stuff, just wait what's going in.
Guys, so we are back again with the guys from Terminal 6 and BB Guns for Less. We had the game day here a couple of weeks ago and we decided to come back and try and get some time. There's a lot more to it than just something that we can put in a simple write-up. I'm here with John and Wes, who are running things here. I'm not going to try and give too much, I'm just going to ask a few questions so that we can learn a bit about them, the journey, the story behind getting the site up and running and running the game site as well, and see where we go from there. So thanks for the time, both of you. No First worries. Off, I guess really start at the beginning, sort of the journey of the store and where you've come from and how you got to today.
Okay, so I started with BB Guns for Less probably, I think about 17 years ago. Although I've been selling guns for like a few years before that out of a shop, but we started the website probably about 17 years ago, I think it was, and
so for me, I remember the earlier days of some of the videos on YouTube for BB Guns for Less were like the two-tone orange guns done by Dominic and like a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but also almost deliberately cheesy, but obviously worked for the site as well.
They did, yeah.
I mean, going from what I remember the shop being back when it was at Ockenden and I used to go down there, you know, I've been playing for 23 years, so I've been playing a fair old whack, to where the store is now and the stock that you have.
Yeah, so
there are reasons for the change.
Yeah, so when we first started like BB Guns for Less, when I first started I was in like half of the porter cabin, and then I took over the full porter cabin, and then I had a container outside, then 2 containers and 3 containers, and then we built a warehouse at the site where we were, and when I built that I was thinking, if ever like we're never ever going to fill this up, you know what I mean? It's like it's so big. It's like, and then within about 6 months we had it filled up, and then after say probably a year or two we started looking at a bigger site, and we found like this place. But initially we were running out of our Ockenden warehouse and over here, because here needed quite a bit of work doing to it.
Yeah.
And so we got it up and running. It's probably like it's probably one of the biggest like warehouses in airsoft really, like the amount of stuff that we've got and everything in the back, and the shop, and we've got the game site now as well on location here with us. So when we first come here, I always envisioned that we were going to do an airsoft site, but we're always so busy with BB Guns for Less that I just never ever got the time to make it a reality really. And then in just recent times things got a bit quieter, and someone that I used to have working for me for quite a few years who was doing the two-tones left me to join the police force, and so I was looking around for someone else to help me, and then I've come across Wes just probably about 6 months ago probably now, and Wes had the enthusiasm and the drive to actually get it going. If it would have been for Wes, we probably still wouldn't have done it, but where Wes is like a hardcore airsofter, I'd call him. He's like, he's had the drive and he's pushed me into sort of making it a reality. And, that's where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, he's spot on what he did. I mean, I remember when I started playing airsoft years ago, and my first site was Airsoft GB, being a local site, very friendly site, I use that enthusiasm to drive myself into airsoft, and I never thought about working in the airsoft industry. It's great when you can actually do your hobby and work at the same time. So this wasn't my first site. I originally worked for Skirmish and Billericay for just under a year, marshalling, maintenance. I left there due to family problems, and I still remember the day that John rang me up, interested for a job working. It was tech work and paint work. And then we had a long conversation, and the conversation was that he was interested in an airsoft site. So I said, I'll pop down, have a chat, and we spent a bit of time together discussing what we want to create. We'll start with phase one. Phase one was a 6 acre field, mixed it with about 5 different zones. We've got we've got the boatyard, we've got the ammo dump, we've got the fuel dump, woodland, and the depot.
Graveyard.
And now we've got the graveyard.
The good thing to build onto that, after having had the game day as well, where you mentioned Airsoft GB before, the marshals that used to be at GB before it closed have come over, and where Steve has marshalled for so long, and with the experience that Steve has, you can see that there's been a lot of thought put into the site. So it's not a random bit of woodland where people have just put down pallets as cover. There's been some thought into angles and making people have to play to work their way up the fields and into the certain areas, which is an airsofter that's played as long as I have is nice, because I have gone to some sites in the past where it's just woodland and then random cover, and it just doesn't play well.
That's right.
So it definitely shows that the right team are here to put the thing together.
Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, I made good friends down at GB, so when I gave them the call and said would they be interested to help me out build an airsoft site, they jumped at it. So what we've done is we've used players to design the site, so it's built for players. And that's what we want to do, is so we've taken ideas from sites that we knew worked really well and put it into this site. And this is only phase one, and then I really can't wait to start phase two. I've got some really good ideas, but at the moment we've got to walk before we run, and that's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to get ourselves on the map, prove who we are. We're a friendly site. We're not cliquey. We're a friendly site.
No.
Just come down, have a play, and see what you think, and have a chat. I mean, in fairness, when I started airsoft, I didn't go with friends. I went on my own. And I made friends. I would say the airsoft community now is huge for the UK, well, worldwide, but the UK especially, because everyone does go on social media, do chat, they talk about rifles, they talk about games they play, advice, what they should wear. It's silly how the community's grown now. It's fantastic.
And the thing that I still like about the airsoft community is, even back to when I started, is if you saw a gun that someone had that you didn't have and you like the look of it, the nice thing with the airsoft community is, there you go, have a look, have a play. And that's something that's not present in other sports. But even now, some 20 odd years later, I'm like it with my NWS. We come up a little bit of beer at the rental, see my NWS Mark 18 and say, that looks really cool, and just give it to them, let them have a play with it, because that's how you bring new people into the sport. And that's sort of the spirit. I mean, in the safe zone down there on the day we were here, there's a lot of camaraderie. Most of it adult, but the kiddies are away, but it's like the spirit here of the site in general is just really nice. It carries through, not just from Terminal 6, but also in the store as well. Everyone here has the same mentality of, we're here because we enjoy airsoft, not we're here because we feel we have to do it.
I have to. It's funny, right? Because you get a mixed range. You get people from, I'll say, 14 all the way up to the 60s, and they're all playing, and what they use is the LMGs, a rifle, sniper rifle, but they're getting involved. It's their part of their social life. And there's also, I've met other people as well. I've seen ex-army, ex-police, especially ex-army, got PTSD. They come down here, it helps them a bit, and they socialise, but it's a bit of calm as well. And it's great. I mean, it's a growing sport, and we just hope it keeps growing as it is now, and we'll look forward to what happens in the future.
I think with the site has got so many ex-marshals from GB with lots of experience, and also a lot of those players have followed them over from GB as well, so it doesn't kind of feel like a new airsoft site as well in some ways.
And the nice thing is with the experienced marshal team, it's clear that the way that the site's been set out, the gameplay has been designed around playing zone. So the games play well for the site. It's not just making up games for game's sake, giving the objectives in the way. But at the same time, when we were here, a couple of bits of feedback we give, it's taken on. It's not brushed off.
That's right.
So it is still a young gaming site, but the potential that we found from the game day, and it wasn't just us, it was everyone in the safe side was all saying the potential is massive.
It's a developing site. That's, you're right. It is developing. I mean, we always take on a bit of knowledge from people. If they say use this advice, we take it. I mean, we know what works and what doesn't work, and we always absorb that bit of knowledge. I mean, there's a few things we try to do as factors. Is that in Essex, like I say, more subtly at the east, really, there is no Saturday games anymore.
No.
They've gone. They're all closed down. If they're not become housing estates, or they're just gone bust.
Warehouses, commercial property or something. Yeah.
Sadly, yes. So what we've tried to do is give that option about a Saturday. I couldn't think anything worse, playing a Sunday and going back to work on a Monday with literally injuries. Being a Saturday, you've got that Sunday to recover. And that's,
the older you get, the more you appreciate that as well.
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up there. I mean, and that's what we try to do. We're trying to bring back Saturday games, and there's a lot of people who work on a Sunday, they have that Saturday. So we just try to give that option, and that's what we're trying to do, and get Saturdays again, and that's what we want to do.
Awesome. So I think from the actual gaming side point of view, we've pretty much covered where that's going to go, and I am really excited because obviously the second phase is the 13-acre, which is the big.
11 acre,
so that will be really, really interesting to see how that pans out. Coming back to the retail side of it, because I will know that some of the viewers will be aware of Wolf Armouries and what was happening last year. So something that John has done, they actually acquired Wolf Armouries, which takes them from the level of not just entry, because they always had other stuff on the website, but it brings them more into the serious end of the sector for those that have got real experience into airsoft and want to look for those more obscure or higher end guns. How have you found that? Has that impacted you guys a lot? Has it made you a lot busier?
Yeah, well, at the moment, airsoft, the market is challenging, and that's the reason why Wolf Armouries got into trouble, and there's also several other retailers that have been in trouble recently. I think that trend's probably going to continue through this year, definitely. But when we first started BB Guns for Less, when I was kind of looking for a name, but most people actually in England, it's so long ago, everyone used to call them BB guns. So that's why we got and probably one of the other major retailers that was about at the time, who was probably the biggest retailer at the time, had BB guns in the name as well. Everyone knows who that would be. So that's why we decided with that name. But then as time's gone on, more and more people now call it airsoft guns, and now that's become a bit of a detriment to our business that we've got BB guns in the title, and there's a bit of a stigma that I'm not going to buy from a company that sells BB guns or whatever. So we was always looking at trying to, even though BB Guns for Less did have all of those higher end guns, or a lot of them, it wasn't really known that we had them, and we probably took on a lot of the newcomers to the sport first of all, and then we'd kind of lose them after a year or two, whatever, because they'd move over to dedicated airsoft retailers or whatever. So we were always looking to try and keep those players on board, because we got them from the first place, and we want to try and keep them on board. So we were looking at trying to take over a higher end airsoft site, and Max, who run the Wolf Armouries, I approached him probably about 3 or 4 years ago about buying the site, and they weren't interested in selling it at the time. And then one day out of the blue last year, he called me and just said he's still interested in buying it because we'd be interested in selling now. So we kind of done a deal with them, but we decided not to take over the store in Camden because there was quite a lot of baggage that was with that, and we just wanted a great clean kind of break. So we bought Wolf Armouries, and we think we've improved it a lot, because before there was only posting a couple of days a week, and the site was quite hard to use and stuff, so we put a new site down and made it easier to use.
I always found, personally, in the past, that Wolf Armouries used to be cheaper, so you search for something specific, and if you search online you expect it's probably been in stock. would come back a lot, but then it would be a listing from 4 years ago, it wasn't valid anymore.
Yeah.
And I think the difference is, and I'm only speaking from personal experience, and I'm not trying to talk anybody down, but customer service in the past wasn't always the greatest. We've obviously had a discussion about how you guys approach things and the ethos behind looking after the customer first. So I can only see that being a benefit anyway. That's not going to be anything that's going to damage it. It's only going to improve. But I mean, I know Phil's in charge of the camera, it's just the wall behind you. It goes on for quite a way. There is stock here that if someone wanted to come along, actually get their hands onto the gun to try it, rather than just looking on a website, because you have the stock available, you can do that. And that to me is probably the biggest thing.
You're right. I mean, this is only a small amount of stock we have compared to what we have in warehousing. But obviously, if there's something specific you want we don't have, we can order it in as well. So you have got those options. And you can't stock everything on the website, and that's the problem. And that is and then also you've got to include as well, we do 90% of our work is online sales. And we rely on that as our bread and butter.
Also as well, with BB Guns for Less, we've always been we've always had price match. So if anyone like see anything that it was cheaper on another website, we'd always match that other website's price or beat it if we could. But we're sort of pulling that through to Wolf Armories as well. So that stands with Wolf Armories. If you see anything it's on Wolf Armories that you want and it's on another website cheaper, we match the price at the very, very worst. Another thing as well, we've carried on with that, like with the shop here, the prices that we got in store for the skirmish day are the same prices as what we got online. We don't charge dearer when you come down to the shop than what we are online. The prices here are low. So like staples like gas and CO2 and pellets and stuff like that are probably going to be the cheapest.
We also still do the same if you buy multiple bottles of gas.
Bulk
You see it online, we still do it in store.
Yeah.
Just let us know. You can even come down with your phone saying this promotion, and then we'll honour that.
I think the good thing for me has just been in talking to you guys, and even on the game days, I think the main thing is around the shop that we're stood in and the game site. There's a lot of experience here, but there's people that care, and I think given time, that's definitely going to show through. I think that's what's going to make the difference.
Definitely.
I mean, we try our best. You're always going to get something.
That's all any of us can do, though, right?
And the phones are non-stop, and some people complain, say, "Oh, we try to get you all day long. You can't get you on the phone." But we are here working every single day. But it's just but we're a small team, and there's only so much we can do. But we do 100% try our best.
I mean, we're here 10 till 5, and sometimes, Saturdays we're open on game days. We can open up on a Saturday by appointment if you phone through.
Sure.
I think I mean, at the moment we're doing Terminal 6 event days every other Saturday, aren't we?
Every other week.
But we're not advertising that the shop is open on those Saturdays when the game day is open. But we probably will start publicising that.
Even on the maintenance days, there's days we're actually on site. We might not be in the shop, but we'll be on the site repairing, maintaining. So it's a phone call away. You just phone us and we send a member of staff over and let open the shop. So there's always someone going to be here on site. So if you need some consumables, rifles, clothing, you name it, we'll have it for you. I think one thing will never change this place. We're always going to be called BB Guns for Less. It's no different when you look at Skoda. When Skoda got bought out by Audi, they still kept the name.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do, because that name's it's been known now quite a few years now, and I think if that name disappeared, people think you've gone bust.
The thing is, it's its own brand, isn't it?
It is.
It's you know, I mean, it took some education for me to know sort of what level the store used to go to.
Yes.
That was on me, right? That's not on you guys. But now I think with the world of the internet and everything increasing as well, it's becoming easier for people to...
Just talking to you, like serious airsoft, until 2 weeks ago I didn't know you, and then first, I think I talked to you the other day, and you said, "Oh yeah, I bought from you when I first started playing."
I
bought
did.
from BB Guns for Less, so a lot of people. I mean, like our mailing list is at the moment probably about 250,000 subscribers. Like our orders are up into like the 500,000 order numbers. Do you know what I mean? So like BB Guns to Less compared to Wolf Armories is in like 15,000 orders or whatever, and BB Guns for Less is on 500,000. So there's like a massive.
There's a big disparity there.
Scale,
I guess for you, the acquisition just gives the growth.
Yeah, it just gives us a bit of credibility in the hiring market, really, and we are going to push that a lot more this year if we can, get some doing all sort of like all higher end stuff, probably some HPA stuff and stuff. We have got a few HPA stuff.
We are starting to do HPA stuff.
On a personal level, I'm still trying to convince a retailer to get into gas blowback properly. That's a personal thing.
Nothing on gas blowback. We love gas blowback here.
But the amount of NWS stuff that's in the market now is like unbelievable. Like,
I think the thing is and I can only speak from personal, right? That most people these days, if you want the performance, you go HPA. If you want the top tier performance, if you want the top tier and the realism, you probably go down the route of gas blowback.
yeah.
And I think, as someone that's airsofted as long as I have, if you want to be serious about probably more the gas blowback than the HPA platform, you end up ordering from abroad.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to have someone in the UK that could supply that market. But that's just a personal view. I'm not trying to apply any pressure.
No, I mean we always do sell a majority of MWS range, gas blowback range, even up to the range of gas blowback. So you have to buy what people want.
Yes.
So if they want the gas blowback, we will have the gas blowback. If they want the HPA, we are looking into building HPA. We're also looking into refilling HPA.
Okay.
But this is going to take a time because obviously you've got to get the right equipment. We don't want to go jump into it and then find we spend a lot of money on the wrong things.
Yep.
It's a lot of knowledge to progress that
But
way.
also as well, we want to make sure we get quite a lot more events under our belts first of all, just to see if we do want to sort of push it on.
Yep.
But at the moment, we do at the moment the way things are going, it's been really positive. But I mean, we might get into 6 months down the line and find out we're running out of steam and invested a load of money. So I just want to,
Not with the enthusiasm of Wes, remember. Not with the
Do you know what? I think sometimes John gets annoyed about it because I'll be that night, I'll be texting him ideas.
Yeah.
And he must be thinking, does this guy go to bed?
Yeah.
I do feel lucky that I've met Wes, because Wes has also introduced us to Steve. Steve has been like really instrumental in getting everything running over there, and also the other volunteers that have been down there. They come down here and
they've become marshals as well,
Yeah.
because some of the volunteers have become
So
marshals. They've taken them on.
I thought because Wes knows, I wouldn't have got Steve and all the others to come with it. Do you know what I mean? So, but Wes is definitely. I've been doing this for a long time now, and he's definitely my most enthusiastic employee ever.
I think my wife gets annoyed. Goes, you still mentioned him? Yeah.
Well,